thought it was fitting that Pat Patterson was remembered at the beginning of this show, and despite people's opinions, I thought it would be respectful to not say anything during that state. Here we go with live WWE Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. For anyone who happens to join in on this, this is a trial run for anyone who might see this later down the line to see how we do with live watch-alongs. I'm going to be covering WWE Smackdown Live. So here we go. Hoping for a good show. Of course, the main event is going to be Roman Reigns, the big dog. Teaming, of course, with his cousin Jey Uso to take on Kevin Owens and Otis. Interesting. So here we go. It should be a good one. Are you ready for a good time? I'm really thirsty, but I'm going to wait till break, because that would just be terrible for our first proper live watch along if I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go get a drink. Caleb Braxton in ring. Looking good as always. Looking good. Get his microphone in a little bit for you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that should be a laugh. You just tell Vince McMahon's in her ear, say all this good shit about Roman, make him out to be amazing. Because he's so good. If people could let me know if there is a delay in audio, I would also appreciate that if they're watching. Obviously, I'll have a look at the stream myself as well. I noticed there was a delay last night in our live stream of our podcast. So I'm hoping that the adjustments that have been made will rectify that. Here comes the big dog. The head of the table. Do you know what? Dare I say that Paul Heyman isn't actually that necessary, especially now that Jey Uso's on board. Interesting to see whether Heyman turns on him if Brock Lesnar comes back into the fold. Paul Heyman looking smug as shit as always. That's just a natural occurrence for Paul Heyman, of course. The big dog. Show up and win, wreck everyone and leave. Those are terrible catchphrases. Man, Roman's too good to be walking around with crappy catchphrases like that. By the way, I've got to get me one of them Usos t-shirts with Armageddon. Anything that has Usos on it needs to be bought. Big KO stepping into the fold. I'm so happy for him. I have just been told that apparently my thumbnail is wrong, so I'm just changing that for you guys. I didn't realise it keeps the old one up. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Mate, what's the point of having people on screens if you're going to pipe in sound? Like, can't we hear them? Roy Roman staring at Caleb Braxton is actually fantastic. It's the little things. I love how Roman Reigns has become so legit as a heel. It's those little things that just make it that bit better. Thunderdome. All right. I'm told that apparently there is a slight delay in my voice, so I'm just having a look at that now, guys. Hopefully I can modify that a little bit for you. Hopefully that will do the trick. Oh yay, we're getting a rerun, a promo package.
Yes,
we know. You're bullying your cousin. We get it. One fall.
Sorry,
it has to be done. As soon as someone says one fall, maybe it's just the Brit in me, but I feel like I have to go one fall. It's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. There we go.
Still working out the kinks,
ladies and gentlemen. So if there's anything wrong with the stream, or maybe something's missing, or maybe there's a slight mistiming, or whatever it might be, let me know. I'll see what I can do to correct things on the fly, obviously, and see how we go. We're almost there, I think, with the mic. Change it to 300 and see what that does. Here we go. Cool. Man, I loved that segment last week where KO was screaming at the camera. He's so good. Like, Kevin Owens is legitimately one of the best all-round entertainers in wrestling today, and I don't think he gets enough credit for it. Maybe that's because he just doesn't look as fancy as other guys. Maybe he's not as big and shiny as jacked, or as jacked as other guys, but for me, I feel like Kevin Owens has all the tools, and he's proven that already countless times. Look on Roman Reigns' face. Like someone just shit in his coffee. How dare you? I love it. I love it, Michael. Caleb Braxton just answered Roman Reigns fears Kevin Owens. That was a mistake. Yes. Be a proper heel and massacre the announcer. Wow. He kind of gave a backhanded compliment to Michael Cole there.
Oh,
Oh,
the little
the little
storytelling
storytelling
segments. Look
segments
at the
there.
way
Look at the way
Jey
Jey
Uso's
Uso's
looking
looking
at
at Roman Reigns,
You
you
know.
know.
I know it's
I
on a
know it's on a
delay,
delay, so you guys have probably already
seen
seen it, but
it's just
it's
kind of,
just kind of, you know,
every now and then the
camera will pan it, or
this
look,
is
this is
great
great
storytelling.
storytelling. This is what people want to see. This is what makes Roman Reigns so much better now. You know, those little things, and Jey Uso is helping elevate Roman Reigns' status even more, and vice versa as well. Roman's helping elevate him. I think it's fantastic. Ooh, ratings talk. Uh-oh. Here we go. This should be interesting. Man, Kevin Owens' music is fantastic. Kevin Owens is fantastic. I love this.
Oh boy, here we go. Paul Heyman. Waiting on. Oh. Man, I love Jey Uso. The boss. Kevin Owens calls Jey Uso a boss boy. He's so good on the mic, man. We do love ahead of the table.
Oh. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in a TLC match at TLC.
Yeah,
I'll have some of that. Thank you very much.
I'm down for that.
What a great transitional rivalry to have before WrestleMania. Fantastic.
Paul
Heyman chewed out Jey Uso using the mic.
Man,
Kevin Owens, he gets a lot of stick online, particularly for his shape. But he's lost quite a bit of weight. He's looking good, man. I'm loving the tattoos, by the way.
The head of the table accepts. You hear a little bit of audio feedback. I apologise, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to see how well the audio is reacting on YouTube. No shit, Michael Cole.
Michael Cole, man, honestly. Ooh! Kevin Owens called Roman Reigns a bitch. I love it. Still trying to work on that audio gang. Some patience, and I reckon we might be able to get it done for you. Boom. War of Words, the Boss versus Carmella. That's an opportunity for Carmella to show off her chops a little bit. We all know what Sasha Banks can do. Carmella not so much, although Carmella is more of a character-based wrestler, so I'm quite excited about it. Hey, it's Bayley! I don't know why, but I'm really liking the Pac-Man-esque ding-dong shirt. Man, I really like Bayley. I don't know what all the hate is all for, man. She's so good at being a heel. Isn't that her job? Aren't you supposed to? I love how she's still got the team captain armband. Her and AJ Styles playing very similar roles right now. That kind of, you know, that that faux level of excellence. They're just so delusional. They think they're in charge. I love it. It works so well. They're so good at it. Smackdown coming out hot, man. Appreciating that. Let's see how the audio is doing on this stream. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies if there are issues. Let's see how the audio is doing on this stream. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies if there are issues. Looks good. Looks good. Cool. We'll roll with that. Tell you what, I'm going to have to get me some rum. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. I will be right back. Oh man, nobody can see our mascot. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, even if you just drop in for a couple of minutes, let me know what you think. If you've got opinions on SmackDown and you'd like to make them heard, then obviously make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Happy to give you guys a shout. Obviously, let us know what you think of SmackDown as it goes along. Yeah, really appreciating SmackDown. To be honest, I'm really liking WWE right now. None of that upsets people because everybody wants to talk about the hot brand new things like AEW, which is great, and Impact as well. But WWE's been killing it lately. You know, a lot of that's to do with the heel turn of Roman Reigns and stuff like that. But it's great to know what people think. It's great to know what you guys think as well. So don't hesitate to have your say in the comments. I've got them in front of me. I've got the chat open, obviously. So have your say. Come and join us for a little bit of fun and games. We're going to try and do a lot more live streaming as we go. So, you know, fingers crossed you guys are going to enjoy it. We're probably going to be live streaming, of course, NXT TakeOver as well. So hopefully you're enjoying that. It's going to be a toss-up between that and watching my Broncos get fucking hammered by the Chiefs. It's probably going to be better to watch NXT, isn't it? War Games! We love a bit of War Games here. Ah, dear. Man, I can't get over how good Kevin Owens is as a rival to Roman Reigns. I just love the little nuances, the storytelling. Isn't it great? You know, the way Jey Uso's looking at Roman Reigns when Caleb Braxton insinuates that he's manipulating him, you know, and the disingenuous look on Roman Reigns' face as if to say, like, you know, she's onto me, but, you know, looking so disgusted at the sheer mention of that. I love it, you know. There's so much going on here, so many moving parts, so, you know, I'm excited to see what SmackDown does tonight, actually. They've got an opportunity to really set a good benchmark. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. More consequences. Jey Uso oversteps his mark. I quite like it though. I love the fact that he's kind of accidentally put Roman Reigns in that position. I really think this is a great long-term rivalry. I don't know whether we're going to get full-blown heel Usos joining up with Roman as like the Samoan SWAT team, or if we're going to have something different. Maybe they're going to turn back on him, cost him the Universal title, become faces again, because they're kind of faces but not. There's good layers to this rivalry. Oh look, it's Natalya. I'm sorry, I don't enjoy Natalya. I tell you what I do enjoy though, Bayley. That's a proper heel. Bayley's showing Natalya how it's done, frankly. I will say one thing. Women's wrestling. This is a lot better than what AEW is doing. They actually have storylines. They actually care about their women's wrestlers. They actually build them. I keep saying this on our podcast every week. State Wrestling Address, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, which you can always check out later in the week. The live stream's available. Not fantastic, I have to be honest, because of the... wow, Bianca Belair looking fly as hell on commentary. I'm appreciating that look. Wow. There is a lot of shine going on there. Not really feeling the tassels coming off of the glasses, but, you know, everything else. I mean, how can you argue with someone who's that good? I mean, she is the EST for a reason. I really like the Ding Dong Hello top. I want one of those. Someone buy me one of those for Christmas, man. Christmas is coming up. Buy your boy a nice WWE shirt. Yes. Hammer Natalya. She is boring. Kick her ass. Oh, Bayley has become... It's amazing, isn't it? I never saw Bayley as this great in-ring talking heel. She's kind of like a female Kevin Owens in a lot of ways. They've got, you know, they share a lot of similar traits. The way she talks trash, the way she's consistently telling a story by being an obnoxious prick in the ring. I think it's great. I think it works. Doing the old touchdown, like, it's good. Look at the field goal. I love that stuff. I also love how Corey Graves is just... Corey Graves has really channeled... He's like a modern evolution of Jerry Lawler without all the, you know, suspect commentary. He's just so good at... Oh, okay. Apparently halfway through the match we're going to an advert break before we even get an opportunity. Thanks for that, BT. As if your internet doesn't stitch us up enough, now your TV wants to piss me off. Like I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you do check out this stream, let us know. If you're watching this after the fact, drop a comment, drop a like. It'd be lovely for you guys to subscribe, obviously. Just for the amount of content we've got going on, and we're really interactive as well. We really value what people think at this podcast. We don't just dismiss people. You know, if you drop a comment, if you drop an opinion, if you contact us on our social media at WrestlePlug, you know, we'll talk to you. We'll have a chat. We'll take an interest in what you have to say, and we'll discuss it on the podcast as well, and we'll make sure your voices are heard, because ultimately I feel like everybody's voice should be heard, particularly in this miserable 2020. Man, 2020 has sucked, hasn't it? But, to be fair, I actually think the quality of wrestling's been really good this year, particularly when you consider how difficult it's been to run shows, especially any kind of live shows with obviously everything that's going on. But there is good news, obviously with a vaccine on the horizon. Jabba Dabba Doo is what the fucking Sun went with on the front of their page. I'd expect nothing less from them scumbags. Oh dear. Anyway, you don't want to hear about politics. You want to hear about wrestling. Yeah, it is. It is real dreadful. Just making sure we got good audio going on there. Like I say, for anyone who may jump in, let me know how things are. I really should share the live stream, shouldn't I? Be a bit more sensible. Oh, mate, that War Games match. Undisputed Era versus Team McAfee. Oh, I'll tell you what, I think TakeOver's going to fucking blow the house down. It's going to upset a few people, but I gotta say, I don't understand how Natalya keeps finding herself in high-level rivalry still. She's just so... she's dull. I don't like to speak ill of wrestlers because I know how difficult it is to be a wrestler, but man, she lacks anything really. Like, she's great in ring technician, no question. Got the sharpshooter in on Bayley as we speak, actually. Belair just being so obnoxious. And Bayley just taps out just like that, apparently. Wow. And Belair is having a good time applauding this at ringside, which is obviously going to lead to shenanigans. Why? Why is Natalya going over Bayley? In God's name are you doing? I think Belair's having a really good time. I love how Bayley's just crawling towards her like, I'll kick your ass just as soon as my legs work. I'll kick your ass. It's so good. Man, Bianca Belair, what a specimen, by the way. She has got future megastar written all over her. All over her. Absolutely fantastic. Kevin Owens and Otis versus Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. That's going to be saucy. Evening. How you doing? One not watching. Have I missed anything? No, not a great deal, to be fair. I'm really enjoying Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Kevin Owens getting into it with them as well. I really enjoyed that at the beginning. Setting up the TLC match. Ethan's made a new video with Karate Man and it's ridiculous and hilarious. We do love ourselves a bit of Ethan Page. I'll certainly make sure I check that out after this bad boy. But yeah, good women's match as well between Natalya and Bayley. Not a big fan of Natalya going over Bayley personally, but that's just me. And that's just my cup of tea. But it is nice to see women's wrestling taken very seriously. WWE actually doing a great job of really showing off their women's division and showing it off well, at least for my money. But yeah, it's actually quite nice, you know, being able to just chill out here. Nice little rum and coke. Have a little drinky and watch some wrestles. Watch some graps, man. Just trying to work out the kinks right now for live streaming, you know. Try and get the audio delay cut down. Little things like that. Yeah, it's difficult when you are, of course, a one-man army, so to speak, like myself. But I dig in. Yeah, she made her tap out as well with a sharpshooter, which was a massive surprise to me. Bianca Belair was on commentary, which obviously meant that there was good. It wasn't so much a distraction as it was just her kind of being obnoxious, winding up Bayley. But I was really surprised. And Natalya just got her in a sharpshooter and she just tapped just like that. And obviously Bianca Belair was at ringside having a good giggle, but yeah, it's funny because all I hear about is how high on Bayley Vince McMahon is and how WWE love her work. And obviously she can't be champion forever, and I think Sasha Banks is amazing. I love Sasha Banks so much. I think she's just such an incredible demonstration of what true great talent looks like, and also a really good advertisement for how women could easily be on the marquee in this company especially. But yeah, no, it does seem a bit strange to have Natalya go over, particularly if they're not going to do much with it. Natalya just feels like she's kind of there. Always been a great in-ring wrestler, but I've never really enjoyed Natalya from an entertainment perspective, you know? Natalya actually would be really well suited at a place like AEW, actually, or Impact, where she can really ply her trade and have longer in-ring matches. If there's one thing AEW does very well, even though the women's division isn't, you know, for my money, particularly well booked, they have good, competitive, longer matches with the women a lot of the time, at least on the weekly TV. When it comes to pay-per-view, I think WWE just, for me, it rules the roost, particularly on NXT, where the women's division is amazing. But I'd like to see Natalya, you know, obviously she's a company gal, you know, she's a lifer when it comes to WWE. She reminds me of Dolph Ziggler a little bit, you know. But she's never changed, has she, really, Natalya? She's always been the same person ever since she came out. She's been there well over 10 years now, hasn't she? And it never feels like Natalya's really changed or done anything or stood out. And I think that's something, really. I just kind of think, yeah. Who does it look like Bianca was there for? Bayley? It's definitely for Bayley. I think they're building up because Bayley, obviously, Bianca Belair was at ringside last week during... Bayley, was at ringside for Bianca Belair's match with Natalya, and there was kind of like shenanigans. So, yeah, that's exact. Do you know what? That sums up Natalya perfectly. A good hand. There's nothing wrong with Natalya. It's just there's no. With all due respect, she doesn't scream star, does she? You know, look at Sasha Banks, look at Becky Lynch, look at Charlotte Flair, and then of course look at other companies. Look at Deonna Purrazzo, you know, look at Jordan Grace and Taya Valkyrie, and you know, all these women are just so much more exciting to me. I haven't watched in a while. I can't believe Lana and Asuka are a team. Yeah, they're trying their best to build Lana as a plucky underdog. In a way, you have a little bit of sympathy for her because she's getting picked on by the bigger girls. You know, Nia Jax is taking advantage of her a lot. And to be fair, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax have worked really hard to come across as the, you know, the schoolyard bullies. But it is just that. It's a little bit too schoolyard and a little bit low rent. For me, NXT is where the true proper women's rivalries are, where they really muck in and get physical. So, yeah, but that being said, I love Asuka. I think she's one of the best wrestlers, period, in the world. I think she could out-wrestle most men. I think she's that good. She's my wrestler of the year. Spoiler alert for our end of year awards. I love her. I think she's incredible. And yeah, I think it would be interesting to... Ooh, look at that big shiny Intercontinental title. They've got the original, I think, IC belt, which they're going to hand out tonight in honour of Pat Patterson. Plenty of opinions, obviously, if you checked out our State of Wrestling address on what I think of Pat Patterson. Absolutely agree 100%. She's amazing. Yeah, I something about Asuka, every time she comes out, I just get so happy and excited, and I love watching her. I love watching her. All of her craft and stuff. A little tribute to Pat Patterson right now, which I understand. Obviously, WWE's going to do that. Yeah, I love Asuka. I could talk about Asuka for hours. I think she's incredible. Do you know, she's one of... People always say that the best wrestlers elevate every talent they're in the ring with. Even when Lana was in the ring with her, it felt like, it was quite good. I've avoided all Pat tributes and just keeping my mouth shut. As you probably saw, I had my say on Pat Patterson. Although I'm obviously sad for people passing, and I'm particularly sad for, obviously, people who are close to him more so. I'm not going to ignore the fact that there are a multitude of horrendous allegations that were levied at him, and I don't think that just because a man has passed away that exonerates them from what they might have possibly done. There was a lot of evil involved in things, and I can't say that I know for sure anything, but ultimately, if we're going to show a great deal of passion and levity towards speaking out, then we need to do the same when it comes to abuse of young men as well. Particularly as, I've spoken quite candidly about the fact that, I was abused quite a lot when I was young. So for me, it's a subject that's close to home, and I want it to be taken seriously from my perspective, because, I'm not insinuating that men don't get respect, but at the same time, I also believe that, because obviously, men have, let's be honest, we get a lot more privilege than women do. I'm fully aware of that. Same reason, white people get more privilege than black people. It's just a fact of society and culture. But I also feel that this has been played down a lot because it involves men. And if it had been women, I feel like it would have got a lot more attention. And everything that is abusive should get attention and should be dealt with in the right manner. So, anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. You'd think that... I don't know who they're going to give the belt to. I think they're going to have a clash of intercontinental greats, or, guys who are high level, so to speak. That belt, to be fair, I mean, if that is the original belt, that's worth something, that belt. That's quite special, That's a piece of history. If there's one thing that Pat Patterson can't be denied, it's his place in history as the first ever IC champion, albeit if you actually look up the history, it's kind of like awarded to him, he didn't really earn it, so to speak, and didn't have it actually that long either, but it's a tough subject, isn't it? What do you want me to say about it, really? It's difficult. I don't want to land myself in hot water litigation wise, and obviously at the same time, I'm not going to fully celebrate someone's life that way when there's been so much that's levied at them, particularly, and you'll know better than anyone now, is if you just look at the multitude of problems with British wrestling, and also the history of BBC, Jimmy Savile, things like that. It's an uncomfortable subject, but it's one that ultimately has to be approached. Someone's got to approach it. I feel like this is a great opportunity for the male side of things and the male side of wrestling fans to speak up and have their say. I appreciate it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to be controversial or meet things head on, but when it comes to things with abuse and of that nature, I've got no problem having my fucking say, and I'm not going to back down from anybody with it. So, I don't fear nobody. I'm 6'4" and 350 pounds, so I could give two shits. I believe in the truth. Speaking of the truth, here comes Mr. Yes, Daniel Bryan. Man, I'll tell you what, Daniel Bryan, he's found the fountain of youth that R-Truth's been fucking swimming around in. He looks fantastic with that haircut and the shave. He's all trim and proper. I'm very impressed. He's looking very handsome right now. I'm quite impressed. He's lost a bit of weight. He just looks great. He looks really healthy. That's why people love you. Well, not many, but the people who do, I love dearly, like yourself. So that's all that matters to me. Cool. Rey Mysterio as well. This should be good. Man, Daniel Bryan, handsome. Did you know what? Little man crush on Daniel Bryan. He's looking all handsome. I mean, I always loved him when he had the big goat beard, but that was more of a kind of warm feeling of happiness. But now I'm looking at him thinking, oh, you saucy man. Looking very nice. Very nice, man. Rey Mysterio is timeless, isn't he? I'm blessed I got to see Rey Mysterio live. Who else we got? Oh, Big E. Interesting. He's gone back to the 5 stuff, he's got the chalk and the... He's kind of adapted a little bit of the New Day and then a little bit of his old gimmick from NXT. I don't mind that, because he needs to stand out if he's going to be on his own. Yeah, not sure what I think about it. I like the logo, think big, kind of... I like how he's still got that... He's so childlike in his enjoyment of wrestling. That's one thing I do love about Big E. Also the hip swirls as well. He's got mad hip game, that boy. I love Big E. He just makes people smile. You know, there's some really special African American talent in this company, and I will just like Impact, man. How good is Impact's African American wrestlers? And not just because they're African American, obviously, but it's nice to point that out. You know, in an age where people feel so strongly, and rightfully so, about the diminished returns that African Americans get and their representation in media and entertainment and things like that. You know, it's so cool to see so many of these companies, you know, really plying their trade. And WWE, it's about fucking time, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. But, you know, I think Impact is completely leading the way now, and that's why I've got so much love for them as well. It's not the be all and end all, but it's important to me. You know, I like representation, I like diversity, I like equality. I'm mixed race myself, so obviously, you know, I'm very passionate. I'd like to see Mustafa Ali do well, obviously being half Egyptian. So, how do you feel about people wanting him to be more serious, to be a champ? I don't think he needs to be changed. I haven't seen the tag match. No, what's going on for Impact? Let me know what that is. As far as Big E being serious, I think he should be serious in the ring. But when his character's fine. I don't know if you saw the stuff with Sheamus when they had a street fight there. That's what I like about him, because he was funny, he was winding up, but when it came down to business, you know, he could still put a hurting on people. He's a big unit of a man. That's Big E's money line right there. I think he's got the potential to be a great champion. It's all about subtleties, isn't it? I'm one of these people who likes things to be a slow burn. I like things to just build organically and gradually. So I'd like to see Big E, you know, take your time. You don't have to rush him in just because they're hot on him as a heavyweight contender, just because they've taken him away from the other two members of New Day and separated him, so to speak. I would, I would love to, you know, see it just slowly build and build and build to the point where people just explode with joy over the idea of Big E, you know, becoming a champion, because he's definitely got that. Bay and Moose versus Swan and Mac. Oh, sorry. I tell you what, Chris Bay, he follows us on WrestlePlug, actually. I should try my luck, shouldn't I, and ask Chris Bay if he wants to come on a podcast. Man, I love all four of those guys. I love those guys so. I love Willie Mack, as you know, if you probably watched the Impact review, because you're one of the sweethearts who actually gives a shit about what I have to say. One of the few, bless you. Man, I love Chris Bay and Willie Mack. I love Moose and Rich Swann, but I really, really, really love Chris. I'll tell you what, I'm watching NJPW's J-Cup just for those guys alone. You know, Chris Bay, TJP, Leo Rush as well. I'd love to see Leo Rush rock up at Impact and get involved in all this stuff. I love Leo Rush so much. Got a massive, massive crush on Leo Rush. Do you know what? Leo Rush has been nothing but lovely to us as well. He'll message me from time to time. Hey man, do you mind promoting my stuff? I love promoting Leo Rush. I love people who are, like me, outspoken, who aren't fearful of what other people think of them. I really admire Leo Rush. He could have gone quietly and just, you know, sort of shut himself away. No, he thought, fuck you, wrestling isn't the be all and end all. I can be a great star, I can be a music star. His music's good, people can turn their nose up at it, but Leo Rush is a really, really talented artist. His rap album was fantastic. Highly recommend people check out Stranger Things. That was a great track, really love that, if you're into that genre of music. But yeah, just so many good things going on in wrestling right now, isn't there? You know, we give WWE a lot of grief, but they got loads of great stuff going on as well. There's something for everybody. If you can't find something to enjoy in wrestling right now, may as well not bother. So who we got right now? We've got Daniel Bryan, we've got Big E, we've got Rey Mysterio. I'm assuming Sami Zayn is going to be a part of this clustermuck. I think it's like former IC champions, and the winner will get this quite prestigious looking belt, to be fair. Nice looking belt. Who else? Oh god, Dolph Ziggler. I don't hate Dolph Ziggler, but come on, he's boring, isn't he? I find him boring. I really do. Dolph Ziggler, man. Bay does music too. Maybe that could be an in for you. Yeah, that's very true, actually. Bring up Japan and music and Leo and see if it makes him want to do anything. I have chased down Leo Rush actually for an interview. He said that when things calm down and, you know, because obviously he's going to be a dad soon as well. Shinsuke Nakamura's involved. This is going to be crazy. I'm assuming it's going to be some form of battle royal if they're going to keep this up. Here comes Sami Zayn now. That's not a surprise. Sami Zayn has completely... I love his logo with his mouth being taped shut. Dolph is everywhere. He's winning this. Oh, you think Dolph Ziggler's taking this? You know what? That wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Sammy's got the actual IC title. So, it's a 3-on-3 tag match. Well, I assume it is because Shinsuke Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler just patted Sami Zayn on the back. So, I think it's a 3-on-3. I love Sami Zayn. Yeah, he's a good human being as well, isn't he? You probably follow him on social media. So I don't need to patronise you or tell you all about his great conquests or anything like that. He's just a cool human being. I love that story about how he, I don't know if you've heard about it, when he went into I think it was like a McDonald's or a Burger King or something like that, a fast food joint, and they got his order wrong. And he was like, oh, what's going on with the food that we did order? And they're like, oh, we're just going to throw that away. And he was like, well, no, like, can I at least, he wanted to make sure that was given to somebody. He said, why throw it away? Can't that go to somebody? Can't you give that away? Can't you give that to a charity or something? And he made this huge scene about it. And Kevin Owens is like, Jesus Christ, Sammy, like, come on, we want to go home. Apparently Cesaro's there as well. He's like, fuck's sake, Sam. But it's like, that's good, You need people like that who are going to stick their neck out and say something, because ultimately this world's full of people who just want to hide at this point, and I'm not willing to do that, even if it ruffles a few feathers. So I've got that in common with Sammy. By the way, he looks like he's dressed for a MASH reboot as well, and I loved MASH. I'm so old. I feel old. I'm only in my 30s, but how do I know about MASH? I used to watch MASH in the A-Team and Man from Uncle. Jesus Christ, I'm so old. I'm like a 35-year-old man stuck in a 65-year-old man's body. So it's Big E, Daniel Bryan, and Rey Mysterio. There's a fucking trio for you. Against Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura. I think I'll go with Team Face on this one. I'm not one of these people who's just like, oh, I just support all the faces and boo the heels. I don't really subscribe to that. I fucking hate that Progress t-shirt. He's great. Love the video of him shouting at a homophobe. Oh, it's fucking great, isn't it? Oh, I love that. I was like, fuck you. Do you remember when that guy would not, don't put yourself down. Yes, mum. Do you remember when that guy gave Kip Sabian loads of shit? You know, that really obnoxious guy who doesn't shut the fuck up. Team heel indeed. I love a heel. Oh, I love it. It's really ironic because my first real foray into loving heels was when I was a kid. I loved Bret Hart when he turned heel. Remember when he was like pro-Canada and anti-American? But his character was actually kind of a face even then. His idea was that you Americans are disgusting and you're not wholesome enough and all that. And it kind of worked for me. And ever since then, I've realised that I just go with the people who I kind of empathise with. So, and obviously being a bit of a castaway and an outcast at the best of times, I've always enjoyed heel work. Yeah, when he kissed the dirt. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. When he kissed him, it was like, fuck you. I love that. I've always loved Kip Sabian, obviously, being British and having the opportunity. I've seen Kip Sabian wrestle in front of like 20 people. I'm very blessed in that respect. I've followed British wrestling for so long, which is why it's been really tough, actually, to, deal with everything that's gone on. Because a lot of these people were people I've looked up to or trained with or worked with. I was ring crew at Progress once, which was an amazing honour at the time. And then you look back and think, wow, so many of those guys who were so nice to me, it turns out that they were behaving in a manner that isn't becoming of what this industry should be. And I've been very vocal about that too. I don't think you can fix it by just kind of removing as many as you can. I think you need to cut the fucking head off the snake and start again. I think culture starts from the ground up when it comes to things like that. I love the heels, but at a show I still boo my faves. I love the pantomime of it all live. Yeah, I do love. My trainer in wrestling is a guy called Rishi Ghosh. And hopefully I'll get the opportunity, obviously, to get back into it once this fucking bullshit pandemic pisses off. But he was very much subscribed to the theory of pantomime and entertainment. I've always enjoyed the entertainment side of wrestling more so than the wrestling side, because I've never been a physical specimen. I'm big and I'm imposing, but I've never been a great technical wrestler. It's heartbreaking being let down by so many. Yeah, it is heartbreaking, a lad who's coming on the podcast soon, a young lad called Aeron Cruz, really close friend of mine, someone who started training with me. And Aeron is only he's 18 now. And when I started training, he was 16, and obviously I was 33. Massive age disparity, and we just sort of clicked as like little and big, little and large, kind of like little brother, big brother. And I'm very fiercely protective of young people in wrestling. because I feel that there should be plenty of safeguarding and order, and there should be so many things involved. And I think it's important that we really, cherish the young people who want to get into wrestling and make it a happy and healthy environment for them. Obviously, it is tough. It can be quite demanding. But, for me, as an older guy, I wasn't interested in getting over and being a big star. For me, I'm more interested in giving these guys an opportunity, using my podcast as a platform for them. And also, if I get in the ring with them, I don't care. I'm happy to job out or whatever it might be. I just want to get these guys over, It's nice to get some shit in from time to time. But, I was thrilled to see, and he's doing so well. He got to wrestle for a fairly major tag team title in the independent scene right at the back end of things, right before the pandemic hit. And I was just so proud of him, because that's a guy who I've done so many private training sessions with and things like that. And, like, for instance, that Progress show, he had some interactions with Travis Banks, and you think, oh, it's just kind of sad, really. We both looked up to that guy, and, he let us down. And, people do, people let each other down. I'm not a fucking saint. I've done bad things too, but there's boundaries, isn't there? And there's different ways of looking at things. And there are so many things where you just think, that's just a step too far. That was the problem with it, I can forgive certain people for certain actions because I've never been perfect myself. But when it oversteps a mark, or it, really jeopardizes the health and the well-being of young people or women or young men, whoever it might be, then obviously, we need to toe the fucking line and restart the culture the right way. So yeah. Anyway. Soapbox rant over. Back to the wrestling. The good wrestling, obviously. Big E is just destroying everybody. That's fair. Shinsuke Nakamura is... Get out. I'm not a huge fan of Shinsuke Nakamura. I really liked him in NJPW, but ever since he's come to WWE, he had that amazing match with Sammy, didn't he? At NXT TakeOver Dallas. And ever since then, it just feels like he just hasn't really adapted well to the American entertainment format of wrestling. That doesn't seem to have really plays it. A lot of Japanese stars, to be fair, struggle with that but not so much the women. Kairi Sane and Asuka were amazing. Akira Tozawa, I think, has really been great in this ninja role and everything, albeit slightly racially appropriated, but it's still fun, and he's really adapted himself well to it. But Shinsuke Nakamura, he seems to have struggled. Another guy was Hideo Itami, who's such a big deal, obviously, Kenta, in NJPW, and he just didn't really adapt well on this scene. Dolph Ziggler, your pink tights are so pink, I am actually blind. Yeah, that didn't help, did it? The gimmick was, I'm going to keep kicking you in the dick. You got to have a bit more than that. I'm happy to take WWE to task when they do terrible things. That was just not a good gimmick. And ultimately, when you put AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura on the marquee, it should be magnificent. And do you know what? Their match at WrestleMania wasn't even close to as good as their work in NJPW. And that's not me being a huge smarky idiot, because I've watched all kinds of different things. It was more a case of the fact that it just clearly wasn't the same level of energy and quality, because they were too obsessed with the idea of sports entertainment. And although AJ Styles has adapted beautifully to that brand through sheer experience and determination, Shinsuke Nakamura hasn't. Oh, Kenta is killing it. I love him right now. He really is. He's not my cup of tea, though. He's a bit... I like him, but he's a bit... I don't want to say bland. He's just not my cup of tea, He's very... I love martial arts, and I love the lore and the nature of things like the Yakuza and the Mafia and stuff like that. So you'd think that someone like him would appeal to me, because he does kind of appropriate a lot of those ideals and that level. But yeah, it just... I don't know, something just doesn't click. Mind you, I am a super mark for Naito as well, so... Naito is my favourite Japanese wrestler. I think he's incredible. He's a rock star, I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times, been in the front row for so many of his great matches. I'm very blessed that, I invested a lot of my time and my finances in my passion, and seeing guys like that was amazing. No, you're right. Everyone kept saying it was going to be insane, and then it was all right, and they started punching each other. That was it. It was just all right, wasn't it? It was just all right. And when it comes to WrestleMania, you got to be special. You got to be spectacular. That was a tough WrestleMania, though. I think that was Mania 34, wasn't it? think it might be, or maybe it was 35. I think it was 34. I can't remember. Do you watch the backstage interviews when JPW cracks me up sitting on the floor calling the cameraman a fatty? Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's where Zack Sabre Jr. became even better for me, because I've always loved Zack Sabre Jr. As a wrestler. Like, he is so smooth. It's like watching him. He is quite literally a wizard. He is a magician. It's astonishing what he can do. But then when he went on that rant and he lost his shit over over Boris Johnson becoming Prime Minister, and he was like, Boris Johnson! Boris Johnson! And he's like smashing the chair. I was like, oh my god, this comedy gold. He is so good. I love the fact that the Western guys take advantage of the fact that they can say whatever they like and just swear and shit. And Tama Tonga just being a foul-mouthed motherfucker just like me. As you know, I love a swear. Tama Tonga is like my spirit animal. I love him so much. He's my other favourite along with Naito. Yeah, he does. He goes crazy, Zack Sabre Jr. He really does. Classic Brit. Us Brits are really good at ranting and losing our shit, and he's so good at that. And obviously, being very kind of, because I don't really subscribe to left or right, as people might know. Sami Zayn going for the cheeky roll up. It's been countered by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's got the yes, lock in. Daniel Bryan really should win this, shouldn't he? Tama Tonga is one of my faves too. I love him. He's so good. Is Sami gonna tap? Is he gonna tap? No, he's crawling. He's crawling. Oh, his foot's on the ropes. Fair enough. There's a bit of strength there. I thought he was going to tap him out there. Yeah, like, I don't really subscribe to left or right, as I was saying. Like, politically, I'm very centralist in a lot of ways. He hasn't yet. Oh, no, he's countered. Sammy's got the... Oh, he's going for the suplex. Beautiful brainbuster. Man, him and Daniel Bryan are so smooth together, as you'd expect. Bryan's countered it. Oh, no, he's still kicked out. This is what I love about these guys. They actually make you think they're gonna. He got it. He's got him. He rolled him up. Daniel Bryan rolled up Sami Zayn. Got him. Zayn's like conspiracy too. Clearly free, mate. Yeah. Team face wins. Fair enough. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't really subscribe to left or right, but obviously, who likes Boris Johnson and Donald Trump? Nobody with a brain. And so when he lost his shit over Boris Johnson, that was gold to me. It really was. I really like the trio of Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, and Big E. That works beautifully. Oh, they're going for a team huddle. I love the enthusiasm of people like Daniel Bryan. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Dolph Ziggler's left alone against three men. He's really become the bitch. Where's Bobby Roode, by the way? I thought Bobby Roode was like his... Oh, I suppose it's ex-IC champions, isn't it? Bobby Roode hasn't won the IC title as far as I know. Dolph Ziggler trying to beg off like, oh, no, I'm your friend. Shake my hand, guys. No, I love you guys. I love faces. He's on his knees begging Big E not to kill him. What a cretin. He does have moments of entertainment, Dolph. He does, doesn't he? Daniel Bryan is the purist's purist, I imagine Daniel Bryan, if guys like Carl Gotch, those kind of guys, Lou Fez, all those kind of legends, he just done an atomic drop. I mean, come on. I love how they're doing Pat Patterson moves on Dolph Ziggler as a tribute. Obviously, regardless of what I think, that's a nice touch from them at least. Yeah, Daniel Bryan's he's the purist. I imagine, like I say, if Carl Gotch or whoever was around, they would have adored him. They would have absolutely loved Daniel Bryan. There's a man who truly respects the art of being a wrestler, If there was ever anyone I'd like an opportunity to sit down and learn from, not just physically, but also mentally as well, pick his brains, Daniel Bryan would be very high on that list. We were asked at training a while back who we thought we would like to see. Or who we would like to have a seminar with, and a lot of guys said Nick Aldis, who, by the way, I adore. I really miss NWA as well, man. I was just starting to get really into it, and then boom. And I know a lot of them have turned up in AEW, but it just doesn't feel the same, Like I like that little studio and that old kind of mucky Southern Territory representation. I like that because it was like a throwback, but with a modern twist. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, Nick Aldis was somebody that I thought, I'd love to love to sit down and talk to Nick Aldis. He's very kind as well, Nick Aldis, you know. He shared my drawing of him, my little piece of art that I did for him on social media, put it on his Instagram, which got me a lot of interest, which is always nice. Kayla Braxton is interviewing Big KO. Man, I'm really digging KO's tattoos. They are so well done. As a zoo enthusiast. Anyone who knows Kevin Owens back when he was Steen in Ring of Honor, and particularly PWG, he loves zoos, he loves animals. That's why a lot of his tattoos, I think, are that. And obviously, you know, he's got a great connection with that and his son. And he had a t-shirt. He brought this t-shirt out. I wish I bought it, but you can't get hold of so many of the American t-shirts. It just said, I'm a zoo enthusiast. It's like, I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, NWA's just copped a bit of abuse, unfortunately, which is a shame. Obviously, they had the thing with Cornette. I am very controversial in the sense that I like watching Cornette stuff, not because I love Cornette the person. I love a lot of his stuff. Did you see KO's Twitter tonight? Him hiding in Sami Zayn's God. They're just together forever, aren't they? Who the fuck is that? Who's the random guy in the mask? Some random bloke just turned up and... I think they were trying to get over the fact that Kevin Owens is a nice person. But some random tiny guy came past wearing a shell suit and a luchador mask. I assume a Rey Mysterio fan of some sort. And he just randomly walked past Kevin Owens. That was very strange. That was a very surreal moment in wrestling. No, I need to check out Kevin Owens' Twitter, actually, see what you're talking about. Don't know, I'm watching via you only. Oh my god, Otis and Kevin Owens are together backstage. Oh, duck it. I love this tag team. El Generico. Possibly. Oh, that would have been brilliant. Man, I love Otis. I might be in a minority now, but I just think he's so funny and so entertaining. It's nice to see Otis actually talking. Cutting a promo, you know? He doesn't just go, oh yeah, like he can actually talk. And also, he is a legitimate shoot wrestler. He's fantastic. Oh my god, Carmella and Sasha Banks. My days both look insane. It's going to be the war of words next. That's something that's going to be worth a watch. God. Oh, they're so beautiful, aren't they? They're just beautiful people. They're so beautiful. They're the kind of women that if I saw them, I would like avoid them because I would feel ugly in their presence. I'd just be like, ooh, I don't belong here. That's how I feel whenever I look at Carmella or Sasha Banks. I'm like, damn. Like, that's some next level shit. Yes, we know the network is $9.99. Did you know it's $9.99? Well, apparently it's $9.99. I don't know what I know more of. It's the network's $9.99 or the Britt Baker's a dentist. It's a toss-up between those two for the most the most overused jokes in wrestling at this point. Oh, women's football, yes. Sorry, I'm a bit of a mark for women's sports, as you know. I did not expect I would avoid them at the end of that sentence. Well, I don't want to be cretinous on this podcast. Obviously, they're gorgeous women and they're just jaw-dropping, aren't they? But they're also insanely talented, and that's... Do you know what? It's going to make me sound very strange, but one of the biggest turn-ons for me in a woman is a woman who's talented and knows her shit, you know? I mean, how could you not be attracted to Sasha Banks, the worker, Sasha Banks, the boss, Sasha Banks, you know, everything that she has gone through and achieved in this business, she just screams superstar. One of the best wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. She's just fantastic. I love her, and obviously Carmella is just redonkulous. That's all I can say about that, though. They're stunning women, but you know, I would not like to be too cretinous at the best of times. I'll try and be at least a slight amount of respectful. You know, they're just scintillating. That's probably the best word I can use for those two women. Scintillating. So, plus I'm really liking Carmella's like kind of diva kick, you know?
So the real change, because they've really gone away from the diva stuff and they've really cemented this legacy of strong, empowered, great women's wrestlers. And she's still that, but at the same time, I like the fact that she's more about the glamour side of things. She's like, honey, I don't need to do things. People do things for me. I like that. It works for the character. And, you know, Carmella's put in a lot of time and a lot of work to get to her position. I remember when she first won the WWE Championship, cashed in on Charlotte Flair, and I was furious because Charlotte Flair is like queen, you know, the absolute queen to me. Charlotte Flair is bae. I love Charlotte Flair so much. And I was like, how dare you in your minimalist ways beat Charlotte Flair for the women's championship? This is Onyx. I was furious. If you go back and listen to the podcast, like years ago now, it feels. We've been doing this shit almost 4 years. And I remember, like, and Steve was like, stop being such a misery. It was fine. This was when the Iconics debuted, and at the time I was like, I don't like them. I do like those women. You know, Peyton Ross is beautiful, but I don't like their gimmicks. And now, you know, like a miserable Mark, I'm just like, yeah, I love all of them now. Really love them all. We are the same person sometimes. I do have my moments. Sometimes I can be a good person. Try my best. I've got a lot of layers, like most human beings. And, you know, people get to see a lot of those layers, whether they like them or not, you know. There are good things about me and there are bad things about me, just like anyone else. So I'm one of these people, I believe that everyone has merit, even if you don't like them. For instance, you know, I will watch a lot of Jim Cornette stuff when he's talking about the old school values of wrestling, because I do value a lot of the old school nature of wrestling. I love all the Mid-South stuff. That's not to say that some of the things he says are fucking disgraceful, you know, but at the same time, I won't completely shit-can someone just because they have different opinions to me or different thoughts, you know. I've always got on well with people who challenge me, actually. So I've always appreciated that. I did love Carmella with the briefcase. She's just so... I think it's because she was associated with James Ellsworth for a while, and that pissed me off too. Do you remember the first... I tell you what, if you want a real good rant, go back and listen to me and Dexter, one of our old hosts, when I covered Money in the Bank. You remember when they had the very first ever women's Money in the Bank, and they had James Ellsworth basically win it for Carmella? I was fucking red hot. It's like, how fucking dare you? I was like, I could not have been more feminist if I tried. Like, I consider myself as a very strong feminist, but yeah, I was fucking furious. I hated James Ellsworth for so long. I've got a little fun sort of thing about James Ellsworth, but I can't really talk about it on a podcast because I get in trouble, so send me a message and we'll talk about it. His nefarious ways. He's not, and not everything is as it seems in wrestling all the time. They're replaying the thing from last week where Carmella was talking trash, and then she was like, she does that thing now, doesn't she? Where she's like, turn off the lights or whatever, or, you know, segment over, and it wouldn't end, and then Sasha Banks jumped her after handing her a glass of champagne, which I thought was quite funny. I think that's what she was clicking her fingers actually for. She was after, give me my champagne, please. She's so glamorous. Rob from Kitchen, I appreciate that swearing. Yeah, you fucking do. Man, your husband's the man. He should come on a podcast. He'd fit in very nicely with all this all this swearing and shenanigans. I just don't believe in, like, obviously some words should never be used, but yeah, I just don't believe in censoring. Oh, here we go. The war of words is about to begin. I think Carmella could take the belt. She certainly could, but I think they're gonna have Sasha Banks roll into WrestleMania. Good rivalry though. I tell you what, Carmella looks stunning tonight. She just jumps off the screen at you. She's really starting to feel like a star. I love that. Sasha Banks says to Carmella, "You're the chick who jumps me from behind all the time." And Carmella was like, "Yeah, that's me." Like, she's really proud of that. I love that. That's little things like that are what makes wrestlers so good. I don't think Carmella will win, but I think this is going to be a great opportunity for her to prove to people that she's got a lot more than people realise. You know, that she's not just some blonde bimbo, for lack of a better term, which obviously I don't believe anyway. You know, she's put a lot of time and effort into it. Sasha Banks does come across a little bit heelish in this segment. Ooh, Carmella just called Sasha Banks a Nicki Minaj wannabe. Savage. Oh, savage, ladies. I mean, it is the war of words. I appreciate that. I don't like when people drag the girls for being divas when that's what they want to do. Support all women, not some women. It's about freedom. Yeah, it is. It is. It's. Do you know what? And I was guilty of that as well for a while. You know, I was like, oh, fucking divas. I hate them all. I want to see proper, beautiful, athletic women as well. But do you know what? You could argue that Sasha Banks has really taken a lot of what made divas great in terms of the sass and the attitude and adapted that to the more modern athletic. And I think that's why I feel that she's one of the best in the world for that reason. But there's someone on the flip side, Asuka. There's no diva about her at all, but she's still gorgeous and stunning and hard hitting and everything you want from a women's wrestler. It's like Tenille Dashwood. She was really good at that, and she's good at that in Impact. I'll tell you what, I feel like she's underused. If I could critique Impact a little bit, they need to use Tenille Dashwood a little bit more. I think she's really good in-ring worker. I don't like this gimmick that she sort of doesn't really want to get in the ring too much and stuff like that. Just want to see a little bit more, Carmella's playing up the diva angle really nicely here, talking about how, things just come easy to her because of how she looks, how beautiful she is, That Sasha Banks has to graft so hard to get whatever she needs, whereas Carmella can just snap her fingers and get it. And I like that. She's superior in every way, and apparently Sasha Banks can't handle that. Oh, she's so sassy. I love it. She's got a stunning look. Ooh. I don't know. She's wearing this weird fur thing over her shoulder. And she keeps. One of my pet peeves in wrestling is people who keep adjusting their gear, and she keeps doing this, and I'm like, stop doing that. Just leave it alone. I'm such a nitpicker. These two women know how to command a camera. I love this. This proves that you don't need to be in a ring every week. You don't need to constantly keep attacking each other all the time. And they've done that as well, which is great. But this proves that you don't actually have to have massively elongated and long things. Oh, I love that. She clicked her fingers and her thing blacked out and Sasha Banks was still sitting there. I mean, that's really cool. Little things like that. I'm buzzing over that. Not sure Tenille will keep that gimmick with Caleb up. It's not really getting... I don't think it is either. I've got to be honest. I don't know who is Caleb. I don't know him personally. Maybe he's an indie wrestler or something. Oh, here comes Buddy with his girlfriend. Not a huge fan of that angle. Not because of the age disparity, because see, look, Murphy, hometown Melbourne, Australia, signature move, Murphy's Law. Girlfriend is Aaliyah Mysterio. That's one of the facts. Come on. I'm not feeling that. Yeah, so we're going for a break. By the way, Dominic rocking the pink sweater. He almost looks a little bit like The Rock when he was young with the haircut and the turtleneck. Oh, hello. Saucy. He's upped it a little bit. It is such a glamour thing, isn't it? But that's what she's going for, the glamour model stuff. Yeah, I've got to be honest. In terms of Impact, I'm not feeling that Caleb gimmick. I think it's a bit tacky and it's boring, actually. And I don't think it speaks enough to Tenille Dashwood's strengths. I'm not one of these people who thinks people should be shit canned. I like to see people used in different variety. For instance, a really good example is Bray Wyatt. Look how many times they've given him an opportunity and he's finally come good with the Fiend. I love the Fiend, and I love the schizophrenic nature of the character. And if you hadn't given him an opportunity to come back as something different, we may never have got that. They could have just cut ties with him. You got to give WWE credit where it's due. They were patient. They gave him an opportunity to kind of re-roll the character, and that's what you got from it. Caleb Connolly, he's an indie dude. I think he had a tag team with someone who was in NWA recently. Don't know why he isn't wrestling. See, that's the thing. I hear something like that, and I think, well, like you say, let him wrestle. Oh God, Man City are playing Fulham tomorrow. As a semi-Fulham fan, that is not good for us. Yeah, I hear things like that and I think, just let him wrestle, The whole thing of him, I'm a photographer. We need to get the right angle. Do you know what it is? It feels a bit... Do you remember Eminem with Melina back in the day? It feels like a really low-rent version of that. And I feel like Tenille Dashwood's better than that. I really loved her run right at the end with as Emma, and she had that great match with Asuka, and then unfortunately she got released straight up, which I think was a massive mistake, actually. I think she was really good, Emma. Really underappreciated. She was actually one of the few people that I didn't like in NXT. Do you remember the gimmick with the dumb dancing? It was funny, but I felt like it was poking fun at special needs a little bit. Not nearly as bad as Eugene, obviously, but enough that I just thought it's a bit tacky and a bit cheap. And obviously with Paige being so, she had that great rivalry with Paige, and I just feel like there's a lot of untapped ability with Tennille Dashwood. And obviously, she's so beautiful. Like, she's just... The thing is, they've looked at her Instagram, they're like, oh my god, you're so hot, you look like a glamour model. Let's play that up. No, there's more there. There's a lot more there for me, as far as Tennille Dashwood is concerned. Speaking of glamorous, Rita Ora, my lord. That's all I've got to say on that one. Yeah, I get mad Scarlett isn't wrestling in NXT. I don't watch, but I haven't heard she's wrestled before. No, I haven't seen her wrestle once. She's very much been the kind of... I don't mind, because Scarlett's character is very much the daunting harbinger for Karrion Kross, and I love Killer Kross. Man Crush alert. I think he is just so fucking good. And to be fair, NXT has really used him well. Got that injury, unfortunately. I had to drop the NXT title. Scarlett is she's next level, isn't she? You look at Scarlett, again, she's in that category of women where I'm like, my god, you are so stunning, you actually make me want to hide. Because I'm like, Lord almighty, the smoke show, I was like, so me and Falabar were sweating every week. I love Falabar as well. I love him too. But yeah, no, she's actually done great stuff as a character on NXT, and I'm really enjoying it. So, and obviously, being together with Karrion Kross in real life as well, it's just gorgeous, stunning power couple of wrestling. Now she's phenomenally beautiful. Major women crush for her, but I've seen her wrestle live and she's great. I've actually seen her wrestle a couple of times, not in person, but I've seen indie shows and stuff that she's been on. I remember in Ring of Honor when she wrestled as well, and yeah, she's got capabilities. I must admit, I would really... available tomorrow morning on the free version of WWE Network, Talking Smack. Carmella, Sami Zayn, and the Riot Squad will be on it. Oh, by the way, Liv Morgan is my uber crush. God. Anyway. Do you know what? As much as it's so fake, Aaliyah and Buddy are kind of cute. And I hate myself for saying that because I'm not a big fan of these fake relationships. But I'm stealing that. Watch for the tweets. I'm going to start saying people are so beautiful I'm hiding or walking the other way. You're beautiful in your own right. Don't never cheapen yourself, There's a reason why Rob found you, I would assume. So, Aaliyah winding up Baron Corbin is very strange. Very strange angle, this. This hasn't really worked out well, has it? I think they were hoping it was going to be a big deal. I'm pleased for Murphy, because he gets to be on TV a lot, and he is super talented, but I'm not really feeling it. I am feeling Dominic's turtleneck, pink turtleneck. You fucking gangster, you little G. I'm appreciating that. By the way, Rey Mysterio arguably has one of the only good t-shirts. Rey and Dominic, their t-shirt. That's arguably one of the only good t-shirts I like in WWE, because their t-shirts are fucking atrocious. Stop stealing all my fucking catchphrases. Get your own. Liv Morgan, if you have a name like Gianna Daddio, why change it? I want to be called G Daddio. That is a sultry name, isn't it? You hear that name and you think Gianna Daddio. Imagine what the hell? Baron Corbin's got a couple of what looks like very strange looking hitmen at ringside. They're wearing full suits and the suits have hoods. I think they're supposed to be heavies. They look like a couple of right fucking goobers. They look like AOP if they were really homeless. I'm not feeling that. Yeah, Gianna... Liv Morgan is just... Every time she posts someone on Instagram, I just look at it and think, I will never ascend to anything that good. I'll never be that stunning and that jaw-dropping in any sense. I'm so disappointed. Yeah, Liv Morgan's like my uber crush. I need to dial it back a little bit when it comes to Liv Morgan. She is something else. That being said, Ruby Riott is something else as well. Let's be honest, all women are gorgeous in some way or another, but the WWE women, they're all stunning, aren't they? Even I'll tell you what I do miss, Sarah Logan, actually. I'd like to have seen more use of her. She's really beautiful as well. I love her relationship as well with, I always call him Raymond Rowe because I remember them as the proper, the War Raiders, War Machine. That's who they were to me. They're an adorable couple, going to recreations and reenactments together and doing sword and Viking stuff. I think it's fucking cool. I love them. I think they're adorable. Also, Hansen's kind of adorable, and he is Ivar. I really like him too. But yeah, Gianna Daddio. How can you not? Who looks at that and says, that's the problem with WWE. Vince has looked at that and he's gone, God damn it, that's a great name, but I need to fucking own your name, so you're now Liv Morgan. Morgan's a good name. I mean, Liv Morgan's fine, but come on, Gianna Daddio. Like, it is a little bit porn starry though. That's one thing I will say. It does kind of come across as a bit of a porn star's name. Not that that's a problem at all. I need to calm down. I'm getting really, really, really... The temperature's rising just thinking about Liv Morgan. And Dominic, to be fair. He's looking hot as balls, that young man. Well, seriously, he looks like the second coming of The Rock. I love it. It's brilliant. Come on, Murphy. Do not lose to Baron Corbin, who, by the way, is one of the best heels in the company. There, I said it. I'm sick and tired of people shitting on Baron Corbin. He is good. I like Baron Corbin. He deserves a bit of love. I am rambling, but then I also appreciate that's kind of the idea with this, isn't it? I just keep talking until someone interacts. So I'm just going to keep talking shit. That reminds me, we used to have a podcast called Let's Talk Some Shit, which was like a spin-off of Wrestle. Like, I really should do more of those. It was like a non-wrestling related conversation podcast. It's quite cool. That wasn't very good. Buddy goes for the, or Murphy. Buddy Murphy goes for the Hurricane Runner, and Corbin's like, because of his height, he kind of sort of grappled him around the waist. It just didn't look very good. Still, shit happens in wrestling, as I always say. Who the fuck are these heavy guys? They look ridiculous. I mean, they're big lads, but they look ridiculous. You have to just keep chatting, do a bit of commentary. To be honest, I've always wanted to be a commentator anyway, so that works for me. Oh my god, Buddy Murphy just smashed into the cameraman. Actually, the cameraman was holding, boom, just got levelled. Especially during Corbin, as the audience usually feels that you leave Baron alone. He gets bullied. That's what it is. That's why Baron Corbin acts up, because he gets bullied a lot. I love the entrance when he comes to... It reminds me, do you remember Randy Savage when he had Queen Sherry with him? And he used to come down and they used to be carried down to the ring on that, you know, they had the kind of bearers and that. Oh, I thought it was great. I thought that was money. I love that kind of pageantry and that pantomime wrestling. That's what Baron Corbin needs more lackeys to, like, carry him to the ring. That stuff's gold. It really is. I like him, you know. You can guarantee he'll go out there and he'll annoy somebody, and that's what a heel should do. I'll tell you what, Baron Corbin would have done really well back in the day, actually, because he's the guy who can go out there and do the job that you want him to do. There aren't many real heels left in wrestling, and he's definitely one of them. I think that's why people love MJF so much, because he is legitimately a fucking arsehole. And you think, you're a dickhead. And because of that, I hate you, and that's good, because I'm supposed to hate you. MJF will never be a face. Ever. He will never, ever, ever be a face, because he's a fucking bellend. It's like Rey Mysterio. He's so lovely. He's always going to be a face, Rey. He always is going to be a face. You know, I've never seen Rey as a heel. People say that, like, when they were part of the Filthy Animals in WCW for a little while, he said, not really. He was just kind of there while Conan was doing his thing, but Ray's always really, he's a lifer. You know, he's a lifer face. It's like Daniel Bryan. It never, you know, he was good. Actually, I thought Daniel Bryan was really good as a heel. But you always felt that, even his heel stuff, you know, what was he being a heel over? He was like, I believe in having, you know, good shit. You know, even as a heel, he was like, we need to save the planet. You people don't look after the planet. And you're sitting there thinking, stop being a dickhead. But at the same time, you realise, actually, your message is correct. So, you know. MJF's grandpa died. He tweeted a statement that turned into an insult to the fans. It's amazing. You need to read it. Let's have a look for MJF. Why not? I haven't fallen out of love with AEW like everybody thinks, but I must admit, it's I think Pat coming back has certainly livened me up a bit, because for my money, he's the best wrestler in the world. He's my favourite wrestler. So, someone called Ben Scanlon has followed us. That's very nice. Yeah, that's confusing. I'm not booing Daniel Bryan for telling me to... God damn it, Daniel Bryan, how dare you tell me facts? Who do you think you are, coming at me with such well-measured arguments, you motherfucker? That's basically it, wasn't it? It was like... And to be fair as well, that angle got Eric Rowan over a little bit as well. He was great as he's heavy, you know? I love Pac. Pac is my favourite wrestler in the world. You should have seen me in that first ever Dynamite. You know, I was very blessed I got to go to the first ever Dynamite, and to be honest, I actually ended up having so many magical moments that the wrestling kind of took a back seat a little bit. But when Pat came out, I was just like, oh, fucking, I love him. And I've seen him wrestle so many times in person. I've met him, you know, but it never loses its magic for me when it comes to Pac. I think I loved him as Neville when he went full King Neville. I thought that was the best thing WWE had at the time. I genuinely think he's one of the world's best all-time wrestlers. I really believe that. I know I'm biased because he's my favourite wrestler, but I do. I think he is everything a professional wrestler, and especially a nasty bastard heel at times. That's what a wrestler should be. You know, I love it. I've got his t-shirt. I love the bastard gimmick as well. I just think it's great. I think it's gold. I'll tell you what, I love it a lot more than Baron Corbin's awful heavies are at ringside. I have no idea what these motherfuckers are doing. Aeron is watching Smackdown. Come say hello. Thank you so much for plugging this stream. I know you do. You don't have to. I know that you don't need to. So I really love and appreciate the fact that you're willing to share it, because, you know, it just makes all the difference, doesn't it? Especially someone who's popular in the wrestling community like yourself. You can get me in on the biz a bit more. What are these people doing? There's these two random geezers in suits with hoodies on, and they're staring down. One of them looks like, with the best will in the world, a kind of dumb-looking Dolph Ziggler. And the other guy just looks like the most generic motherfucker on earth. Like someone created a wrestler and then stuck a suit on him. Who are they? They're probably NXT guys that I don't know, but I'm not feeling this. As if Baron Corbin doesn't have enough heat for being boring in so many people's eyes. You know, I get it. Baron boring, or boring Corbin and all that nonsense. I do like the singlet style stuff. Oh, the other guy looks familiar. I swear I've seen him before. One of them looks really familiar. I was searching for MJF. So I'm not really helping my argument that Baron Corbin's good and people should respect him more, because I'm sitting here during his match looking for MJF's Twitter. Let's have a look. My grandpa just died of cancer. His biggest love was music, and he led one of the best party bands of all time. I grew up going to his house every week. I practically lived there. It was always the same. The day would start off with him reading his daily New York Times paper in the morning as we'd eat my grandmother's delicious shallow French toast. Of course, he fucking dropped that in money. And then we'd go downstairs and have a nice chat about current events. Later in the evening, we'd get in his car, drop the top, and he'd blast jazz. I'd listen to the Rat Pack era. Oh, I love Rat Pack. In all with him. He loved every second of mine as CJ's rendition of Me and My Shadow. And so did the New York Times. So basically what I'm getting at is Chris, me, and the spirit of my papa would like to say eat shit. Hey, he's so fucking good, isn't he? They usually use local talent, but I guess with them not travelling, who knows? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. They do use local talent. There's actually a Twitter account that tells you who all the enhancement talent are. Really? Oh, I should check that out. I'll tell you, my favourite Twitter account is the vacant one. Have you seen it? WWE Vacant, where it's just the vacant picture of the guy, the vacant guy, and every time there's a picture and it's got a vacant thing, he'll just be like, yeah, undefeated, baby. Like, if a title's made vacant, he'll just basically brag about it. I think it's fucking fantastic, personally. Yeah, there's some really good Twitter accounts out there. Every time I see a Twitter account like that, I always think, shit, I wish I'd thought of that first. You know? I always think, bollocks, that should have been me. I should have got that fucking gimmick, you know? I should have thought of that. I'm so creative and I come up with all these ideas and I don't use enough of them. That reminds me, I really should post a few more art pieces I've done lately. Thanks for reminding me in some weird roundabout way. Yeah, they do use localised talents. One of the reasons I know that is because when they do Raw and SmackDown over here, a couple of my mates actually were... one of my friends, actually, the guy I wrestled in my debut, Austin Drake, he was actually one of Adam Rose's Rosebuds. A WWE show over here, which I thought was pretty sick. So, you know, in some weird roundabout way, I have wrestled in some way a WWE talent. Oh, hello. The lads in suits have gone mental and they're attacking Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Oh, Buddy's not having none of that. Come on, Buddy, get in there. Buddy's... Okay, they're running in the ring. Then they've run outside again. He's run right into End of Days. Rookie mistake, Buddy. You should know this by now. Boom. Baron Corbin gets the win. He may be boring, he may not be everyone's cup of tea, but he did just beat the promising rising star that is Buddy Murphy right in front of his missus. Oh, you dastardly bastard. state of those. One of them looks like Cody Rhodes if he was on massive amounts of roids. He's got a huge chin, that geezer. It looks like Cody Rhodes got spliced with Hellboy. What have we got? Yeah, I've seen that one. Nobody is better than the Sheik telling me what Hogan is as badass. Guy from our local place, Creator Pro, who was the big dog mascot during the Corbin-Roman feud. Really? Oh, do you remember that? That was fucking... I actually thought that was quite entertaining. A lot of people didn't like it. The dog food thing, covering him in dog food is always a bit... but, you know. I'll tell you what, I hate to sound like that guy, but Aaliyah Mysterio is a beautiful young woman. She really is. She's absolutely jaw-dropping, that girl. Dude, you watched AEW lately? Cody is on steroids. I'm sure he's getting jacked, isn't he? I have started tuning into Dynamite a bit more. As soon as Pat came back, I was like, I've got to watch it. There are things I like and there are things I don't like. You know, I'm never gonna pull punches when it comes to AEW. I don't hate it by any means. There's some things where I just think, oh, man, do a little bit. Oh, my boys, the Street Profits, Montez Ford. If you look any more fly, you will be in the sky. That man is so fly. It's unreal. Yeah, Cody is jacked up. He's just... I like how they excused it. Did you hear on commentary when Tony Schiavone was like, yeah, he's put on some pounds because he wants to up himself into the heavyweight division. I was like, yeah, he definitely put on some pounds, son. He been speaking to Scott Steiner about 33 and a third opportunities with roids. Hey, it's his body. It's his choice. I do love Cody, though. I think he's a mega star. Yeah, I think he's arguably AEW's... I like him. I don't know why. There's something about Cody. He was up there as one of my wrestlers of the year, definitely. I don't think we're going to do a male or female category this year. We're just going to have wrestler. Why is Bobby Roode chatting shit to the street? Oh, yeah, that's right, because Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are apparently worthy of a tag team title shot. I don't care. There is nothing glorious. Why is Cesaro wearing half suit, half tracksuit? He's got a green tie and a shirt on, and he's got a hoodie over the top. And ultimately, when you look that good, you can get away with it. Like, Cesaro looks like me if I evolved and was better looking. Cesaro is the evolved Pokemon of me. That's how I look at it. You're throwing out some awesome quotes now. You should have heard me on Sly Fox the other day. For every American football game we were covering, I had so many wicked analogies. Some of them were highly offensive, to be fair, as you would expect from me. But here we go. It's main event time. Otis and Kevin Owens. Oh, yeah. I love him so much. I think he's great. When he had the lunchbox, I was cacking my pants laughing. He's so funny. And ultimately, Otis proves that even someone who looks like me can get a Mandy Rose. But yes, those boys against Jey Uso and Roman Reigns should be a pretty sick main event, actually, if they let him go with it. I think the dudes are Forgotten Sons with... Oh, yeah! Yeah, because since Jackson Riker decided to be a bit of a bellend... I tell you what, I didn't like what he tweeted, but at the same time, it is his right as an American, so I was like, you know what, just who cares? Just let him fucking tweet his nonsense. He wants to be an idiot. He wants to be an idiot, doesn't he? It's his choice. No point getting offended by people like that. They're not worth the energy, as far as I'm concerned. I'm really excited about this. I love the idea of Otis and Kevin Owens. Foul Original just tweeted that. I don't actually know for sure. Yeah, I know Foul's kind of like me, isn't he? He does a lot of graphic design and stuff like that. Seems like we're kind of in the same field. We're rivals. Let's build a rivalry. Let's go to war. The next Survivor Series, me versus Foul. Team Nix versus Team Foul. Or not. Whatever. He probably doesn't even know I exist, which is fair. I'm still trying to build up the Survivor Series rivalry between WrestlePlug's gang and Hardest Part of the Ring. If you like a really nice, well-measured podcast, basically anything that we're not, check out our boys, Hardest Part of the Ring. They're from Brighton in the UK, and I know them personally. Really lovely lads, good friends with all of them. And they kind of do what I like to affectionately call the lounge version of WrestlePlug. You know, it's like, just sit back, relax, and listen to an hour of the Hardest Part of the Ring every week as we discuss professional wrestling. It is proper, like, chill. And I'm like, even I listen to it, and I just think, you're very different on screen. Foul is cool, you're very different. Yeah, I can imagine. There aren't many people who are similar to me. Although, I keep getting told that I bear an outrageously striking resemblance to Ronda Rousey's husband, and that annoys me because I am absolutely in love with that woman. She's so beautiful and so strong and so sexy, and I just think, can I swap places, seeing as I look exactly like him? Do you think I can get away with that? He'd kill me, obviously. We're both big Samoan bastards, or at least mixed race bastards. Travis Brown. Wow. he's going to be a wrestler one day. I can see him. If Ronda Rousey comes back to WWE, I reckon he'll wrestle as well. I believe that. You need to go against Bang Bang. Steve is a loon. He's good fun, actually. Yeah, I've had some interactions with Bang Bang before. Yeah, I quite liked their live tweet watch along stuff. I think that was quite cool. So I really like the fact that they've opted to do something different and cover old school wrestling. You know, that's quite cool because, you know, it's some of the best times I've had on this podcast have been when me and Steve, who is my regular co-host, who's now a father, bless his heart, which is why he's not on that much anymore. Got a lovely young lad, little baby Arthur. But yeah, me and Steve used to do Manic Mondays where we would cover an old era of wrestling, and we did all of 2004, which you probably saw uploaded to the YouTube channel. And it was just, I really enjoyed talking about the old wrestling because, you know, we're talking in a nostalgic sense. Obviously, we love it because we've got great memories of it. But also, it's an option. People can listen if they want. So it's not like people are going, oh, fuck's sake, they're banging on about the Attitude Era again. That's the point. You listen to it if you want to hear that. And I quite like talking about old wrestling. There's so many things that I missed when I was a kid, you know, that I didn't appreciate. And watching them back as an adult, I think, Jesus Christ, they actually had one of the Guerreros dress up as a turkey and come out of an egg. At the same pay-per-view that arguably the greatest gimmick in the history of wrestling. I don't think it's even an argument, really, is it? Undertaker is definitely the greatest gimmick of all time. You know, the same pay-per-view that he debuted. And the suggestion was that he might be the guy who came out of the egg. Can you imagine if the Undertaker had debuted coming out of an egg? Just like a rooster or something just burst out of the egg. Ah! That would be fucking atrocious. And that would have been that for old big ginger Mark Calloway. Bless his heart. Well, touch wood, because SmackDown has only got about 20 minutes left, but the stream has held up fairly well, so I'm very grateful for everyone who has stuck with it. And by everyone, I of course mean you now. Anyone else who's watching is probably thinking, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Is he on kit? A lot more Pat Patterson stuff. He was so close to being in the egg too, right? Yeah, he was, yeah. That's so the story goes. You know, there's so much great lore. But this is why I like people like Cornette. Not because they're necessarily the best people in the world, but because they do have a lot of great insider information. And if you can get past that initial blast of abuse, there is some real gems in there. And there are guys like him, you know. I'm not a huge fan of Bruce Pritchard, for instance, but he does say a lot of things. Rob said, me too, you twat. And I'm a snitch. Who's a snitch? Okay, fair enough. Who's I don't know why he called me a twat, but thank you. I hope he's not referring to the Me Too movement. I'm assuming that's to do with something that I said about being a nutter or something like. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm a little bit lost at this point. I've been drinking rum all evening, and it's also 20 to 3 in the morning. Hi, Rob. You're right, I am a twat. I'm a massive twat. I'm actually much worse than that. But, you know, we'll stick with twat. That seems a little bit more censor-friendly for YouTube. Uzos are here, which means that I obviously pay attention because I think Uzos are the best tag team in the world. Yeah, I said it. Jey Uso is the fucking man. These facts are shit. Son of WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. Like, anyone, under the leadership of his family... Roman Reigns. What? Like, who doesn't know that? He said he's watching too, and I'm snitching on him telling you he said that. Oh, okay, fair enough. Bless you. So you know what happens to snitches? They get ants in their britches. That's probably the nicest thing I could have said. When you said I'm the only one watching, hello. That's fair. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully I'm bringing some entertainment to the WWE brand that I know not everybody loves. Man, I fucking love Jey Uso. I love Roman Reigns actually as a heel. I think he's fucking money. Absolute money, I really do. Oh, okay. The consequences are that Jay's on his own. Roman Reigns said earlier tonight that there will be consequences for him jumping the gun, and I think the consequences are that basically he's going to have to wrestle by himself in the main event against Otis and Kevin Owens. So it's essentially a handicap match, although the chat says we've got people lurking and not chatting. No idea. Whoever's lurking, hello. Lurking like a merkin. Eating a gherkin. And other shit things that rhyme. Oh yeah. Otis, mate. Fucking hams and slams, baby. Fucking love me some Otis. I'll tell you what. Do you know what I love most about this rivalry? The fact that they've turned a traditional tag team wrestler in Jey Uso into a legitimate main event star. His matches with Roman Reigns, their match in Hell in a Cell, actually, I started tearing up at one point when he wouldn't stop beating the shit out of him because I love the Usos so much. You know, he really got me there. I was really in admiration of that. I love Otis's knee pads. One of them is colour coordinated with his trunks, and the other one just says Otis. It looks like they lost the other knee pad, so he just grabbed a knee pad and wrote his name on it and slipped up. But it works for him. I'm glad you're doing this. I don't watch Raw and SmackDown, but I like these watch-alongs to stay in the loop. Yeah, to be honest, this has worked out really well, and this has really given me a lot of encouragement to actually do these now more regularly. So I'll be doing it for TakeOver, hopefully, depending on how the Broncos do against the Chiefs, which won't be very well because we're going to get violated. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing Raw. I must admit, I do like Raw and SmackDown. I actually really like Raw. I'm in the minority, but I really enjoy Raw. A lot of it is to do with the fact they've got some of my favourite wrestlers of all time, Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, but I like it. I fully believe that's what happened, Classico. It does look that way. It does. It looks like they were like, oh yeah, I've lost a knee pad. And Kevin Owens is like, just give me a Sharpie. And he's just written down his name and slid it on the other knee. Oh, I love main event Jay as well. Oh, here comes Roman Reigns. Well, his music's hit, so better late than never. That's his gimmick, isn't it, that he turns up late? He's basically a really, really shit date. It's what he is. Although, I tell you what, topless Roman Reigns, my lord. The man crush is real. I feel myself turning ever so slightly. He's basically like he's Samoan. I don't know, because Jason Momoa has kind of got. Well, he's Polynesian as far as I know, but there's a real likingness to them, isn't there? They both seem so similar, Jason Momoa and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has turned up, and he has just randomly got up on the ring apron. He's gorgeous, isn't he? I'll tell you what. Oh, it's really... How cute is this? I know it's bullshit, and I know you'll say it's bullshit, and that's rightfully so. But my little sister the other day, I've just sort of... these two little sisters have only really just come into my life in the last couple of years. One of them's 13 and one of them's 18. And the 13-year-old, bless her, she said to me the other day, she was like, "You're really handsome. You remind me of Jason Momoa." And I was just like... saying, "Oh my lord, thank you so much." It's complete bullshit, but thank you so much. I enjoying the stream, man. Paolo Lamb Chop, is that in reference to Paolo One Chop? Because I'm so fucking happy about that reference, man. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you watching, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, my little sister called me fucking Jason Momoa the other day. I was like, oh, I wish I had his fucking hair. I always wanted really long hair, but those days have passed, man. So now I'm just like full Stone Cold Steve Austin at this point. I'm looking more like Travis Brown and Jason Statham if they had a very ugly stepchild every day. So, Roman Reigns, apparently not particularly keen on the idea of actually wrestling, is shoving the steel steps into Otis's fucking midsection. He's basically destroying him. He's ruining it. Kevin Owens has taken great exception to this, as he would. And Michael Cole is doing what he does best, which is annoying me. Jey Uso with a lovely suicida tope onto Kevin Owens. Oh, Roman's mad. He's mad. Oh, okay. So he decked him with the steel steps, and now we're going to go for an advert break. Fair enough. Go for the advert break then. Fair enough. It's commercial time, Mago. I assume when they come back, because there's still going to be about 10 minutes left, that this match will continue, even though Roman just surely should have got... I assume he got disqualified for quite literally trying to murder Otis with the steel steps. Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, it's a carny fuckfest. Yeah, man. I'm so glad about that. Paolo One Chop was the man. Oh, mate, Costa Rica's finest. I'm a massive football mark. So, yeah, I love Paulo One Shot, especially when he's playing for Derby. I had the privilege of seeing him play quite a few times when I was younger. Football's like my other big passion. I spent a lot of time in football. Sports in general, I'm obsessed with sports. I'm on Sly Fox Sports podcast as well if you want to watch that. It's a fucking car crash and it's terrible, but it's funny. It's a bit like this podcast, actually. Just a complete car crash. But I appreciate you checking in, man. I just love the name, Paulo Lamchop. I think that's fucking great. I'm again, that's another idea. I'm sitting there thinking, fuck me, I could have thought of that first. I suppose you could have Paulo Pork Chop. That doesn't work as well, though. Lamb Chop sounds like one chop. Yeah. Yeah, you've cornered the market on that, mate. Get the copyright on that, son. Fuck it, I'll buy a Paulo Lamb Chop shirt. I'll make one. I now want to really draw Paulo One Chop as a lamb chop. Oh, my brain is fucked. Subscribe yesterday. I think Rob might enjoy you on that. If you like ferocious and highly offensive opinions on sports, then Sly Fox is for you. Because I have literally just... I'll be honest with you, right? I don't use this word too often, at least on the broadcast. But I just am a full-blown cunt on there. Especially when it comes to college football, because I don't have a fucking clue at the best of times. I try my best. I love Notre Dame and stuff like that, but I'm not big on the college football, so I go ballistic on that. Absolutely ballistic. You think I'm mad on this? I am crazy on that. That's where all my great analogies and, I took a degree in writing, and ultimately the only thing I've used it for is to learn far more advanced insults and how to, just kind of use, I don't know, different analogies, different metaphors and idioms to my advantage by being an abusive shitbag. I don't care about rugby. Get the shitty advert off my screen. This program contains flashing images. Yeah. I could make a really horrible joke about flashing, but I'm not going to. You're better than that. You're better than that. I can hear a little part of my brain going, you are better than that. You're not, but you are. Okay, this match has resumed, apparently, the whole steel steps violation thing. I feel like you've done a lot. Yeah, not all of it good either. I assume you mean in terms of work. I don't know. I mean, I'll try. I just keep going, I do have quite a good engine for a big lad. I just like talking shit. I was about to say, I hope it's Roman flashing. That's fair. I bet he is. He looks pretty. I bet you must have lost your shit when you first saw him topless. Like, wow, going full Vince McMahon when he saw Gary Stridham. If anyone hasn't seen that, look up Vince McMahon's. I think it was WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation. I think that's what he called it, or whatever he called it. He, for a while in the late 80s, I believe it was, he did a. Or it might have been early 90s, actually. Yeah, he did this bullshit renegade bodybuilding company. And he basically tried to make bodybuilding like wrestling. So all the bodybuilders, instead of just coming out looking like specimens, they had gimmicks, Oh, Gary Stridham's a magician, It's just shit. And he was doing a commentary for it, right? And this is where you can get the real homosexual tendencies of Vince McMahon. Gary Stridham comes out, and there's this scene where he just like goes... Gary Stridham, wow. Look at the striations. And it's like, okay. Vinnie Mac's enjoying Gary a little bit too much. It is so funny to watch. It's like the stand back stuff when he was dancing at the Slammies. It has to be seen to be believed. If I can rob a clip of it, I'll post it on WrestlePlug. It is so... Roman's furious with Jay, and he's just sitting on a ring apron doing this, like... You have failed me for the last time, Jay. I'm also liking the Thanos glove. I'm assuming that's a reference to Thanos, that he's got this like sort of gold Superman punch glove going on. But yeah, you got to check it out. Right, Vince McMahon doing commentary on bodybuilding is one of the greatest and worst things at the same time I think I've ever seen. I think Roman is furious at the fact that Kevin Owens has got the upper hand on Jay. His facial expressions have just come on so quickly, Roman. He's if there was something that he could be guilty of, it was that he could be a bit bland, a little bit kind of lackluster at times. And all of a sudden, this has been a home run. The way I love that. Kevin Owens goes for the pin, and he screams at Jey Uso, "Kick out right now!" Like as if to say, like, "Don't you dare fucking embarrass me in front of this audience. Don't embarrass me in front of my opposition at TLC." I love that. I love that kind of passion there. You know, Roman Reigns is just reborn anew as this incredible heel. He's just like dismissed. He's like, "Shut up, Kevin. Nobody cares about what you've got to say." I like that. I love Kevin Owens as well in this angle. I think he's the perfect guy. You know, the mouthy but likable babyface. The one who stands up. You know, someone who feels more real, more relatable. I think that's really good. You know, you can see... I look at Kevin Owens and I see a little bit of myself in someone like Kevin Owens. Obviously, I look at Roman Reigns and I think, I wish I looked like that. I'm more like Kevin Owens. That's why people love Kevin Owens, because he's so relatable. Here we go. Roman baited Kevin Owens. There we go. Finally got... He's literally done one thing in the ring, and that is basically punch Kevin Owens. And I think he did a clothesline at some point. KO can do no wrong in my eyes. He's fucking great. I'm loving all the Roman love. Do you know what? That's not... Originally, I wasn't part of the I Hate Roman Brigade, but I felt... he's telling Jey to get down, and Jay's going to splash Kevin Owens. He's like, "Get down." I finished the show. Interesting. You can just see this. Jey Uso's going to get rolled up. Yeah, I must admit, there was a part of me that got pissed off with Roman being shoved down my throat. And I felt sorry for the guy, because I felt like he should be allowed the opportunity to be better. I've wanted this Roman Reigns for many, many years, and I've had to wait a long time for it. But I'll tell you what, it has been worth the wait. I'll say, there's the stunner. Jey Uso. Roman's not happy about that. He's got in the ring now. And he's got his whopper chokehold on Kevin. I think the referee's thrown it out as a DQ. How is that a DQ? Because he interrupted the pinfall count too many times. But smashing the shit out of Otis with the steel steps was not. By the way, where the fuck is Otis? I'm pretty sure he's been dead since he got taken out with the steel steps, which is slightly unfortunate. The look of disdain on Roman. He's saying something to Jey. Obviously, I don't want to have the volume up too high because I don't want the stream to get taken down, because, you know what WWE are like. "You use our content, fuck you." Get a fucking cease and desist from Vinnie Mac. He'll probably fucking send me a cease and desist just for doing an impression of him, the cretin. "You want to take the piss out of Lex Luger and Gary Stridham? I'll give you some shit, you fat ass bastard." That's Vinnie Mac in a nutshell. Roman has handed Jey a chair, and now poor old Kevin is stuck in the middle, and it looks like they're going full Edge and Christian with a concerto. And there's one. Oh, mate, they're just teeing off on Kevin. That's just not fair at this point. Don't roll onto your back. It's not worth taking chair shots to the elbow. There's a gif going around at the steps and Otis, and I think he's dead. Yeah, I think he actually legitimately is. Okay, he's put the chair on Kevin, and now he's going to give him the Uso splash. Because Roman will now allow him to do the splash. Do as you're told. That was really safe as ours is that. He dropped the knees in first. I love that. That's when you know that wrestlers can be good. Right? He could have just laid it out, and he thought, I'm going to drop on my knees a bit to minimise the impact. I appreciate that. Oh, no way! Okay. Roman just turned on Jey again, and he's absolutely annihilating him with a chair. It's basically tough love, is what it is. Oh man, it's... Again, it's brilliant, but this does its job. I'm pissed off, because I think, fucking leave him alone. Leave Jey alone. Like, that's how I feel. I think, fuck you. How can you do that to your cousin, man? That's awful. So it does its job great. Paul Heyman looking like this despicable walrus. He's just put the belt on Kevin Owens to symbolise, as if to say, this is as close as you'll ever get to it. Mate, this Roman Reigns he's arousing, is what he is. Oh, that's brilliant. He said, "You wanted my attention, now you all have my attention." And he's like holding Jey with one hand and Kevin with the other. As if to say, like, you both answer to me. You answer to me because you're my family and you'll do as I say. And you answer to me because you're a bitch and I'm going to knock you out of TLC. It's great stuff. He's he's become this world-class in-ring talker as well, Roman. Wow. Roman's basically telling Kevin everything that he's going to do to him in a really horrible and violent manner. For the belt, or actually investing. I think he's there for the belt. I've got to say, maybe it's by design, but it feels to me like Paul Heyman isn't that necessary. He doesn't feel like he's needed now. Initially, he might have been to warm up the process, but now it feels like he's not. And I think that's the idea, and I think he's biding his time, getting in on the camp. Because if Brock Lesnar comes back, you got to think that's the money clash, isn't it? KO isn't scared. He's not scared, but he's knocked out at the moment. And that is SmackDown in a nutshell. And I'll tell you what, that was a lot of fun. Maybe I enjoyed it a lot more because I got to chat to you amazing motherfuckers. But that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I really, really enjoyed that. I'm digging this live streaming thing. Yeah, it's great. I like the little community. It's fun. It's really fun. I hope people have enjoyed it. But yeah, I must admit, for me, Paul Heyman, he does kind of feel like he's just there for the sake of it. He is. He's always looking at the belt. And you're right. I think you're onto something there. And I didn't pick up on that. And you know me. I love all the nuances and things. And it does very much feel like the mentality is. Let me just turn that stream off. It does very much feel like, he's there for the belt. I've had a good night. Thank you. So have I. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to you and Rob for joining in. Mad love to you both. That's very fucking cool. I really appreciate that support because not everybody enjoys listening to me rabbit on about wrestling and life, but I enjoy it. I'd like to start doing live streams just about life. Anything, whatever. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, I think Paul Heyman's biding his time for Brock. When Brocky Wocky Lesnar comes back, Bork. I look forward to all the gifts. I'll tell you what, you can say what you like about Brock, but when he's got a fucking briefcase and he does the Running Man, I'll pop. I'll pop like mad for that. That's one of my favourite things I've ever seen. When he started doing the Running Man, Seth Rollins is like, what the fuck are you doing? It's fucking gold. Absolute money. That's when you love wrestling. When it just surprises you for a moment like that. If you could hear us, we have laughed a lot. That's good. Laughter is very important. Fuck knows people need it in 2020. This has been a shockingly strange year. You made SmackDown funner to watch. Paolo Lambchop, an absolute thank you. That's unbelievably flattering. Thanks for joining us, man. I'm going to start watching a lot of these. I swear we are BFFs. I love the Money in the Bank return. Yeah, no question. Absolutely no question. Thank you, honestly, guys, for checking in. It was an absolute pleasure. I enjoy talking wrestling. You know me. I love rabbiting on. I like talking. I'm a social soul, even if I'm a foul-mouthed piece of shit. I love people. I do. Don't get it confused. I don't hate people as everyone thinks. I'm so unpopular on the Brit Rest scene with so many people. Probably because I speak my fucking mind and they want people to just sit in their little bubble and do as they're told, and I'm not going to fucking do that. You try putting a fucking 6'4" mixed race Arab man in a fucking bubble, and I'd like to see you try. I will not be silenced by the cretins who have ruined this industry. But yeah, you're all family to me. I appreciate it. Paolo Lambchop, hopefully have you on board for a lot more streams, man. See, right now, I'm laughing my head off. You will not silence me. You know me, I'll just fucking go off on one. It's not helped by my hosts, my co-hosts, when they occasionally join me, because they love empowering my rants. It's one of those things. I've got a friend called Lindsay, and she will ring me up just to hear my fucking swear-laden rants about how much I think Boris Johnson is a wavy-haired cock-waffle wank pheasant, and she's just stunned by the amount of abuse I can come out with and rant, and she thinks it's the most hilarious thing in the world. She'll ring me up solely to wind me up because it will make her feel happy. Fair enough. As long as I feel useful, that's all I say. I say go for it. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot more streams. I'll be covering Raw live, hopefully NXT TakeOver, but I'm going to make sure that I cover a lot of the weekly wrestling live. I'm going to start covering Impact live, because I believe it's on Impact Plus via Fight TV, and I must admit I cancelled my Dynamite subscription. I felt a little bit miffed. Guess what? My real name is Lindsay. There you go. So you probably get on with her very well. You seem like very similar people, very cool, very awesome, very honest people, and I admire that. There ain't no place for fakes here, you know. Even if you're an arsehole, I don't mind that, but be honest about being a fucking arsehole. That's some good fucking rum. More rum and live streams. Yeah, I'm going to start covering a lot of the weekly stuff, and really, Impact is something I really want. And obviously, how can you not live stream Impact next week with the champ Kenny Omega rocking up? I'm not a fan of Kenny Omega, as people know. I don't hate him, I just don't think he's a huge megastar like everyone says, but how can you not watch it? You can watch live Jessica Havoc on Twitch if you're doing it in real time. I have done that before, actually. You do well staying up for live shows in the UK. Oh, that's just been my bread and butter for years. Honestly, I could sit here and tell you stories about that. I remember staying up, because it used to be on Channel 4 over here, which is a fucking god-awful program at the best of times. And I used to, like, tape it on a VCR. Fuck, I'm so old. I was like, my VCR! I used to get a videotape back in the day, and I would record Royal Rumble 2000 when The Rock won. I remember watching those shows live. My favourite pay-per-view I ever watched live was Armageddon 2006, Man Hell in a Cell, and I stayed up. And I was at school at the time, and this shows you, like, Red Bull wasn't really a thing back then. So I used to fucking drink black coffee, even though I hated it. It was shit tons of sugar, and it would give me this crazy caffeine buzz, and then I'd stay up all night, and then I'd go to school, and I'd be fucking flagged and off my nut, and I'd be fucking hopped up on caffeine and angry and screaming about how much I love The Rock and trying to swanton bomb people off of school fucking things. We even had our own hardcore title at school, and we used to just jump each other randomly. I mean, we used to have bag pens. You throw your bag in the pen, and then you go into classroom, and people used to be power bombing people into that and pedigreeing people on tables. Not quite the high standard of education you would expect of England. Jessica isn't always on screen watching along, but she still streams it. I was using her stream for a while, actually, when I couldn't find a stream, because the Twitch stream is blocked out. The official one is blocked out over here, which I've taken Impact the task on social media quite a few times about that, because I think that's stupid, because you're alienating a large portion of a great audience of people who would love to watch it. But when she is there, she's small in the corner, but she's an absolute gem anyway. Yeah, there are times, I love Jessica Havoc, don't get me wrong. There are times when I feel like she could be just a little bit less of a. I know she's outspoken like me, so I have to respect. Game recognises game, and she's a unit. And obviously, her and Sami Callihan, I believe, are a couple. That terrifies the shit out of me. Wow, imagine those two fucking. Oh, excuse me. I thoroughly respect that relationship. Please don't kill me, Sami Callihan. I'd love to wrestle him in a death match. That'd be fucking sick. But yeah, no, there are times when she's like, "Oh, if you don't like it, fucking watch someone else," and I think, don't say that to prospective fans, because they will do. You know how fickle people can be. It's ridiculous, but it gets Jessica more views, and when Ethan was doing it, he got loads of views. Ethan is the man. He's so good. I wish I got on that bandwagon. I'll tell you what, though, Josh Alexander, mate, it's real. I'm in love with that man. I think he's beautiful. He is my perfect man. If I turn, I shall turn for Josh Alexander, and Josh Alexander only. And possibly Dominic Mysterio when he gets a bit older and he's wearing a lovely pink turtleneck, you little sort. You watch most of the NFL live too? Yeah, I love NFL, man. I'm obsessed with NFL, British football, European football. I love Champions League, all that sort of stuff. I don't know what it is. I just consume so much. It all comes flying at me, and I love it. I try and take as much of it in. She lives with Sammy, but she boos him during the show. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Check out tonight's gym video from Josh. Thighs for days. Oh my lord, he's a specimen, that boy. Yeah, I do. We watch. Do you know what? I haven't live streamed much NFL yet. We tried to live stream Philadelphia and Seattle, but Jeremy, who runs Sly Fox, even though he gets me to do all the fucking work because I'm the graphic guy, he just basically has me on because he wants the comedy element, I think. But yeah, we have tried to live stream, but we've been working the kinks out of things, and this seems to be the first stream that's worked quite well. Touch wood, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, no, we will endeavour to try and live stream NFL as well, particularly the midweek games that don't clash with wrestling, because obviously we have a Thursday night game normally, don't we? And there's not really any wrestling on a Thursday night, so that's a good opportunity to do that. And obviously Sunday, if there's no pay-per-views, that works really well as well. I'm actually quite annoyed because I was hoping NXT TakeOver would be on a Saturday like the other takeovers used to be, but they've moved them over to Sundays in the pandemic, I've noticed, and that means that I've got to now think, do I have the Broncos and the Chiefs on in the corner and scream about how much I hate Drew Lock while I'm trying to live stream NXT TakeOver on here while it's on the big screen? You know, there's all these little things, and I am a bit of a multitasker, and my brain's trying to think, oh, well, if I have it there, I can maybe, live stream things here, set up the mic this way, and things like that. That's me in a nutshell, classic overthinker. My brain is far too hyperactive, which is probably why I'll die of an aneurysm when I'm 40, but, live it large and live it hard. Here for a good time, not a long time. You should check Twitch. Might be able to get paid quite quickly if you're putting the hours in over there. I would like to, because I'm really into gaming as well. As you can tell, I'm into quite a lot of things. And I do all this while looking after horses, fostering dogs, and graphic design, making candles. Yeah, I make candles. What of it? I don't know. The days are just turning into blurs at this point. But I would really like to get into Twitch. Kyle, my friend Kyle, who's been on this podcast a few times, he twitches. He twitches. He twitches at the sheer sight of me. No, he goes on Twitch and he streams himself a lot playing League of Legends and stuff like that. It's not really my cup of tea, but good for him. We'll watch if you live stream the football, Rob said. Okay, cool. I might start using Twitch then. I don't know whether I quite like this platform for YouTube. Let me know how the sound dubbing, by the way, has been on this, because I've been tweaking the time disparity so that the audio lines up with the video, because I noticed with my last stream there was a real disparity between what I was saying and the audio. Like, for instance, you would I clap like that and then you'd hear it like 3 seconds later or before. It was very weird. So let me know if there's anything that can be done to improve these streams, but I might start using Twitch actually. But I do quite like this setup, and I quite like YouTube. It's a big platform, but then so is Twitch. So been great. That's good to hear, because I have worked really hard on this stream to try and get the sound to correlate well. So hopefully this setup works, at least when it's just me. It can be quite temperamental with connections, especially if you've got other people involved and stuff, because basically what I use is Skype and an NDI. I won't bore you with all the schematics and shit, but basically I'm using Skype to then push through towards YouTube, and then it's all kind of linked up through OBS and stuff like that. And I'm very techie. I do like my techie stuff, so fingers crossed. This is going to be a regular thing, and the quality's I've ironed out a few of the kinks, but Twitch is definitely something I'd like to get involved in as well. Finances have been very difficult, obviously, losing a job in a pandemic. Where I live right out in the middle of the country, and it's very difficult to get any work, which is why I'm always plugging the t-shirts, wrestleplug.bigcartel.com and prowrestlingtees.com/wrestleplug if anyone's interested, or just share the links. That'd be really fucking awesome if you could. Sounds super good. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, YouTube is great. I find the chat and everything easier for sure, but a lot of people are heading to Twitch because of ad revenue and subs and all that. Yeah, I think for me it's good to kind of get my foot in the door and give it a bit of a try. Thinking of you, not myself. What a saint I am. Oh, you spoil me. Yeah, no, I just it has been difficult. So it would be, my dream is to kind of make revenue and make a, almost like a kind of occupation of sorts. What's better than getting paid to do what you love to do? And I've always been very passionate about this business and passionate about trying to entertain people, even if it is in my own nefarious way. So, it's definitely something I have a look at. I've noticed a lot of people jumping towards Twitch, and it's got a massive, following now anyway, because of obviously the way video gaming is going. So I'm hoping to merge WrestlePlug a little bit with other things, like maybe have gaming plug or animation plug or things like that. These are all spitballing ideas and stuff, but the idea is to make it like a big kind of media thing, a bit like What Culture in that way. Take a lot of work, but as you know, I don't mind the graft, and I do work incredibly hard, and people don't see that a lot of the time, and nor should they, to be honest. They're here to be entertained, not listen to me rabbit on about how difficult life is. It's difficult for everybody. And we all fucking graft, and we all strive, and we all strain to try and achieve. And I'm no different in that sense. You know, I embrace the grind. I enjoy it. I think more people can find you via searching subjects on Twitch too. I don't know loads, but a load of my faves have gone there, so look into it. I do have a Twitch, because obviously I have Amazon Prime, and so you get Twitch Prime as a kind of, you know, as a sort of excess thing from that. And I do have it, and I have tried a couple of times. It's Aeron PW, which is obviously my wrestling name. My first time watching, and can tell you really do love wrestling. Yeah, I absorb it. I'm very encyclopedic. But yeah, I do have a Twitch channel, Aeron PW, which people can check out and follow if they like. And I'm going to start using that to stream myself, because, you know, I've worked out now how to sort of transfer and, you know, make graphics, as you can see, and stuff like that. So it's all handmade myself, which I'm very proud of. And, you know, so yeah, fingers crossed. It would be nice to kind of venture out and do a few things. Do you know what? I think I'll wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed it. Smackdown was cracking. That's awesome, Paolo. Hope you come back and chat more. Yeah, man, I'd love to see you more, Paolo. Mr. Lamb Chop. I expect to see a picture of Paolo One Chop on your profile at some point. But no, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much to everyone. Obviously to Nails, to Rob, and to Paolo Lamb Chop. Thank you very much for joining me, gang. It's like a nice little family, innit? The fatal four-way of streaming. But it's been fucking awesome. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to go and have a quick bite to eat, and I've got art and stuff to do. I'm currently painting. Yeah, go get some sleep. It's been fun. You're so motherly. I really appreciate that. Especially as I don't really have a mum, so that's quite nice. Not a good one to speak of anyway. But we won't get into that nonsense. It's a good time. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate the streams. Ultimately, if you want to share it and let your mates know, I obviously will love you dearly for that. But you're under no obligations. Just thank you for joining, and especially to you guys for chipping in and speaking in the chat, because it makes my time even more fun and much easier to do. So fingers crossed, dude. I know, right? Fingers crossed that we can. We've got this right now, and we can cover a lot more. I'll see you guys. If not for NXT, I will definitely see you for WWE Raw. I will endeavour to advertise it a little bit more, so you guys know, you know, a little bit further on, because I've kind of been doing it slapdash as I go. So now I've got a bit more of a handle on it. Fingers crossed, you guys will know a little bit further, a little bit earlier. On. But have a good night, Paolo Lamb Chop. Good night, brother. Have a great night. Night to you, Nails and Rob. Hope you guys look after yourselves. Settle in nicely for the evening. I'm very jealous that you guys get to live in America. I know it's a melting pot, but man, I fucking love America. I do. Anyone who knows me knows that. So thank you for your continued support. Much love, gang. Mwah. Have a lovely evening. Look after yourselves.